This segment of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. If the growth in GDP proves anything, it's the need to diversify the local economy. After all, figures show that the 1.4 to 1.6% increase was driven by the tourism sector. Of course, a departure from this will take serious change. Well, according to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Peter Turnquest, the government is making progress in this regard, but not as quickly as it would like.
If you look even within the tourism sector and how we're trying to diversify that sector and broaden it to a more national perspective, when you look at the work that we're doing in the Small Development Center, Business Development Center, where we're trying to encourage organic, natural, sustainable, renewable type businesses, we are making every effort to ensure or to help facilitate this broadening that we're talking about. The investments in agriculture, again, trying to broaden this economic base so that we can try to take out some of the peaks and valleys that happen as a result of recessions and global events that has an effect on tourism.
The World Travel and Tourism Council last year noted that within a decade, the Bahamas will become more dependent on the tourism industry, with it generating almost 60% of the country's gross domestic product. The Free National Movement campaign on reducing the country's overall dependency on the #1 industry. The General Post Office on tap to officially open at its new location next week. The latest timeline from the minister with oversight of ensuring this actually happens, Renwood Wells.
Well, right now we are going through the operations of the post office. The phones are installed, the furniture is in, the building is completed. The Ministry of Works is going through its punch list, looking at tiles, looking at little defects in the infrastructure itself, and asking the landlord to make good these defects. We're also looking at the operations of the post office in the space with folks sorting mail and how it's all going to work out. So we're trying to work out all of the kinks in the operation of the post office before we officially go down there and cut the ribbon.
In the face of widespread criticisms, the Minnis administration last October passed a resolution clearing the way for the post office to be moved from its longtime East Hill Street location to Town Center Mall, Blue Hill Road South. The buildings to be leased at $12 a square foot. That move was initially set to take place before the end of 2018, but was pushed back several times. Once located, the East Hill Street building, which has for years been plagued with problems from air conditioning woes to rat and mold infestation, would be imploded. The Prime Minister has asked the central bank to absorb the cost of that exercise. Good, credible, experienced, and a lot of new faces. The criteria opposition Deputy Leader Chester Cooper is looking for as the Progressive Liberal Party sets out to boost its machinery ahead of the 2022 general election. And it's a fight Mr. Cooper believes requires more women to step to the forefront.
So we need to recruit more female candidates, and the more women fighting on the front lines for the PLP, the brighter our future will look. And the largest segment of voters by the next time the general election comes around will be young voters. So I come to tell you, we have to invest in our young people. So when they have this graduation here next month, I want you to be here. I want you to embrace these young people. I want you to get to know them.
The PLP, he said, must also have an achievable platform and vision for 2022 and beyond.
Things such as empowerment and education and technology and ownership and making sure we don't leave people behind. We need better strategies to get our message out and to engage our young people in the conversation about building our nation. We need to create generations of voters across our country. And we need to show this generation of upcoming voters what a PLP that empowers a nation look like.
To get the ball rolling, Mr. Cooper is calling for his party to start naming candidates. Though a longtime PLP stronghold, the party lost the North Andros constituency in the 2017 election by 130 votes. to the Free National Movement's Carlton Bolag. And our final stories are up next.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.